Hey guys, how are you? I know I was just live, but I saw this and I'm like, you know what? I want to tell you guys about what's going on real quick because we just talked about this in kind of a different way. And this is something that goes on in the mom sector across the board. But there's a mom out here, a YouTuber mom, with at one time up to 2.5 million subscribers. She was just arrested under suspicion of aggravated child abuse. Okay. Um, Let me see if I can find the story real quick. I have everything pulled up. Um, y'all, this is kind of crazy. But this they have accused this family of not feeding their children, malnutrition, all kinds of stuff. And I mean, I feel like we've heard all of this before. Lots of allegation from their subscriber base. And the mom was arrested, I believe yesterday. So let me tell you. So the channel's called Eight Passengers, and let me see if I can pull up the news. It's like not okay. Let me see. So the person's name is Ruby Frankie. Um, just a second. We're gonna pull this up. Okay. I'm letting an ad go by. Anyway, so after a YouTuber star was arrested and charged with aggravated child abuse, new information details that a child climbed out of a window for help, which led to the discovery of the abuse. Ruby Franke, known from her YouTube channel Eight Passengers, which garnered attention of millions of people around the world, was arrested Wednesday on 2 counts of second-degree felony aggravated child abuse. Hold on a second, let me pull this up. Let's see. I don't know if y'all can hear this. Can y'all hear this?
Passengers has been arrested after her child climbed out of a window. A YouTuber from southern Utah has been accused of child abuse. Court documents show Ruby Franke from the family channel Eight Passengers has been arrested after her child climbed out of a window and asked a neighbor for food and water. Officers say there were signs that he had been tied up. The child was taken to a hospital, and his siblings are now in DCFS care. Franke is being held without bail. YouTuber from southern Utah has been accused of child abuse. Court documents show Ruby Franke from the family channel Eight Passengers has been arrested after her child climbed out of a window and asked a neighbor for food and water. Officers say there were signs that he had been.
That's the same thing that happened with the Hart kids. The kids that the two the couple, the lesbian couple that had a bunch of adopted kids. The kids were going to the neighbors asking for food. It was very strange, and the couple ended up taking their RV and just riding it straight off a cliff. It was crazy. The Hart family, you might like look them up if you've never heard of them. But this is weird. So her name is Ruby Franke.
A YouTuber from southern Utah has been accused
Channel
of child
called Eight
abuse.
Passengers.
Court documents show Ruby Franke from the family channel Eight Passengers has been arrested after her child climbed out of a window and asked a neighbor for food and water. Officers say there were signs that he had been tied up. The child was taken to a hospital, and his siblings are now in DCFS care. Franke is being held without bail.
All right. And then there was a link to the sheriff's department, which shows Ruby Franke, Springville, Utah. This is the case number. This is everything right here. Aggravated child abuse intentionally or knowingly. I don't know if there's any bail. 5th District Court, St. George. St. George sound familiar? That is the same city where the Brown family is from. This is somebody who is a business partner of hers, some sort of counseling service. Jody Hildebrandt is part of this story also. I don't know if this lady has a YouTube channel, but it was strange to me. So this is the woman right here. Her name is Ruby Franke, mother behind the YouTube channel 8 Passengers, 2.5 million subscribers. She and another woman are currently in custody, which is the lady right here, Jody Hildebrandt, that they're referring to. So Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrandt are currently in custody under suspicion of child abuse. The news follows years of criticism about Franke's parenting, and rumors of a family torn apart. A mother behind a formerly famous YouTube channel has been arrested under suspicion of 2 counts of aggravated child abuse. Franke is listed in the Washington County Sheriff's Department, which we just looked at, as in custody after being arrested at 9:30 p.m. August 30th in Springville, Utah. Her business partner, who also was arrested at the same time. Ruby Franke was once a familiar face on 8 Passengers channel, which followed their lives of her husband and their 6 children: Shari, Chad, Abby, Julie, Russell, and Eve. But over the past 3 years, the family has been in a downward spiral. The channel has had about 2.5 million subscribers at its peak, but was taken offline earlier this year for unknown reasons. The family has also been surrounded by allegations of wrongdoing for some time, which signaled the beginning of the end of 8 Passengers, with Frankie splintering off to a different controversial channel last year, but certain family members disappearing from view altogether. For years, Frankie's family faced criticism for their parenting style. Rumors of child abuse started circulating summer of 2020 when Chad disclosed in one of his vlogs that he had had his bedroom taken away for playing a prank on his little brother and was sleeping on a beanbag. Investigative YouTube channels then started look investigative YouTube channels then started looking into other content that Franks had put up and found that they believed to be more evidence. Okay, investigative YouTube channels. Okay, investigative. Let me make it bigger so the people in the back can all see. Investigative YouTube channels then started looking through other content that Frankie had put up and found that they believed to be more evidence. In one video, Frankie said she wouldn't bring a packed lunch in for her daughter Eve, who was just 6 years old at the time, because the child forgot to pick it up before school. This led to allegations that Frankie was starving her daughter. Psychologists and parenting experts previously told Insider that severe discipline of this kind can develop a poor sense of self-worth and a fear of abandonment in children. It can also lead to a child not really understanding what they did wrong and repeating the behavior, creating further strain on the parenting child relationship. At the time, the Franks pushed back on the narrative, accusing the internet of stirring up drama and taking clips out of context. In an interview with Insider, they said they gave their children choices and were teaching them about consequences of their actions. Okay. A letter from the Division of Child and Family Services in Utah, where the Frankies live, seen by Insider at the time, said the case was closed because the claims were unsupported. Okay. So this is maybe one of her sons, Chad. The Franks continued posting videos on their channel for a while, but they couldn't shake the allegations. Uploads became more sporadic until they ceased altogether. The channel has now been removed. In June of 2021, Frankie announced she was forming a new channel called Connections with a woman named Jody Nan Hildebrandt, a therapist whose license was put on probation by Utah Clinical Mental Health Counselor Licensing Board for 18 months back in 2012 for discussing a patient's corn addiction with elders at a Mormon church without permission. She just lied wherever she went to further an agenda to destroy. Okay, Frankie and Hildebrandt's channel caused concern straight away, with onlookers labeling Connections a cult. It describes itself as a mom's support group and claims to help treat those lost and stranded in darkness of distortion and addictions, fear, sadness, and all of the destructive behaviors derive all of the self-destructive behaviors derive from, but has been criticized for damaging, extreme, and authoritarian in its teachings. In one video, for example, Franks and Hildebrandt said parents should not love their children unconditionally, and in another, Frankie gave multiple reasons children should not be listened to, and said they didn't deserve privacy. They have also freely made homophobic, transphobic, racist, and ableist comments. Those who criticized Frankie's new venture were also simultaneously looking at old videos and finding more worrying and problematic teachings from the Frankie parents. Clips have been circulating on TikTok and YouTube, sometimes amassing millions of views. Somehow, Frankie's harsh, disproportionate punishments towards the children and dictatorial rules of the household. Those who have been following the Frankie's family story have theorized that it was Frankie's involvement with Connections that led to her eldest daughter, Sherry, cutting off contact. Wow. In an Instagram story posted September 22nd, Shari addressed the rumors and said it was not in contact, which her immediate family was not okay, addressed the rumors and said she was not in contact, I guess, with her people, with her immediate family, and she did not support the extreme beliefs of Connections. Also, she also said that her followers, please remember that this is my real family. Despite good intentions circulating rumors, gossip doesn't help us. I'd like to ask for privacy for me and my family as we work through this very difficult situation, she said. Please know that many are working on this situation and hope one day we can be whole again. Please respect our privacy as we work through it. Now, Frankie and Hildebrandt have both been arrested in Utah. The definition of aggravated child abuse includes starvation, broken bones, head injuries from hitting or shaking, and suffocation if intentionally inflicted. The perpetrator faces up to 15 years in prison and fines up to $10,000. When the news broke that Frankie and Hildebrandt's arrest on Wednesday night, Shari shared a photo of a police car on her Instagram story with the word finally. Wow. Okay, that's her oldest daughter. Today has been a big day, she said in another post. Me and my family are so glad justice is being served. We've been trying to tell the police and CPS for years about this. So glad they finally decided to step up. There are questions about the whereabouts of the rest of the family, too. Chad, the second oldest child, is also thought to have moved out, but he has not posted publicly online since the family's channel shut down. Kevin Frankie, the father, who was also once involved with Connections, but has been out of the public eye for several months. Today was a big day. Is that when the police showed up? They said the feds were there. Okay. Today was a big day. Me and the family are so glad that justice has been served. We've been trying to tell the police, finally stepped up. Kids are safe, but there's a long road ahead. Please keep them in your prayers. We also respect their privacy. And that's her Instagram, official Sherry Frankie. That's her Instagram. The specifics of why Frankie and Hildebrandt were arrested are unknown, but Fox News reported that the Springville Fire Department responded to an incident at Hildebrandt's house earlier the same day at 3:44 p.m. for almost 2 hours. It's unknown if these incidents were connected. Insider has reached out to the police department and the family's former management for information. Do they have a link to it? Oh, we saw this already. Uh, is this the one? Just one second. Okay, that may not be it. Okay. Um. Mm, I'm just saying this is, it's interesting because, a lot of this stuff comes up. We just spent 2 hours um, you know, with another mom from the YouTube streets complaining. At the end of the day, the bottom line is this: people are complaining, people see things. Whether you claim innocence or there's no problems here, at the end of the day, these people were claiming the same thing too. And what I'm reading online is that there is a young child who was climbing out of a window, who appeared to have remnants of duct tape on him. And mom's been arrested. So this is Ruby Franke, and it's a problem. Her channel was called Eight Passengers. I guess the other channel is called Connections. But I just thought this was important. She was arrested last night at 9:30 in Utah. And I don't know, y'all. Um, go do your research. I'll drop the links. If you're in a suburb, beautiful, clean home, parents act normal to strangers. It's so hard to get authorities to take action, even if, because, yeah, there's a stigma about poor communities um, versus communities that appear to have resources. So those kids, a lot of kids end up slipping through the cracks. Let's just put it that way for many different reasons. Um, and just because people normalize certain things, let's just say it like this, doesn't make it normal. Just because it's normal at your house doesn't mean it's normal for everyone else's house. That's number one. And number two, just because that's how you were raised doesn't mean that that's what's appropriate. There's a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, I just thought that this was really important to talk about because we just talked about a situation with my jazzy life. This is not the same situation by no stretch of the imagination. This is not the same situation. However, there are similarities. This is a family where they have had reaction videos and commentary done on their channel. People have made comments and references to what they see from their videos, and the people have said, "You're just trolling us, you're doing this, you're doing that." And it turns out that there have been some investigations by law enforcement, even the FBI at this point now. And this woman and a business partner who is some sort of a therapist um, are under arrest and are also under some sort of federal investigation as well. YouTubers. Okay. Anyway, I did not want to hold y'all too long, but I wanted to bubble this up because, far too often this stuff just doesn't get talked about, and it gets whispered about. It gets kind of thrown out as that there's stalkers and there's weird people putting together TV clips. We've talked about many YouTube families where weird stuff has happened, and it was due to the YouTube streets that called it out, that saved lives and helped children and even helped families that needed that were in distress. Okay. So however you want to take that. Um, and this might just be another one of them. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to keep y'all long. Like I said, I just got off live. You guys know that. Look into this. Eight Passengers, Ruby Franke. I'll bring back more on this. I'm going to go look up the daughter's Instagram now. Everything is in here as I have it. But sis is in custody in Washington County. Um, as of right now, did I just pass it? Girl. Um, let's see, girl, they arrested some people yesterday. I wouldn't go to Washington County. Who knew that they were arresting so many people? Okay. I just had it too. Hunter Lavelle. Okay, we passed it. Ruby, Frankie, and there. Let's see. Jody Hildebrandt. That's the business partner of this woman, Ruby Frankie. Um, and that's the information. And they are both charged with aggravated child abuse. I don't know what's going on, but let me tell you something. In light of the stepmother trial that just happened, the woman that took out her stepdaughter in a horrific way, okay? Horrifying, right? This was her stepmother, okay? You guys know who I'm talking about. If you don't, I will definitely attach the links. If you go to phone calls from prison, she has a couple of this lady's jailhouse phone calls posted. Also, who else can I think of? Oh, the other woman from Utah. There have been some awful cases this summer tried out of women who have taken their own children out. Okay? So, I'm not saying that this is the case or this is what that would end up being, but there's a lot going on out here and I don't me personally, if you see something and say something, you see something and say something. It's the authorities' job to investigate and say that's something valid or that is something that thank you for letting us know but there's nothing there, that kind of stuff, right? We're not law enforcement, right? um I just think that if you have a problem, then you need to adjust the visuals accordingly and stop blaming people for feeling like there's a problem and calling them trolls and all kinds of stuff like that because clearly the FBI is not showing up um, for no reason. Okay. So I'm going to leave that right there. This is a very interesting case of another YouTuber situation gone wrong. So I guess we'll be hearing more about this. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. And you guys have a good afternoon. Look into what happened here in, I guess it's St. George, Utah. Um, and this business called Connections. I've never even seen this channel. Let me look up this channel real quick on YouTube. I don't know if this channel's taken down too, but they said they started a new channel. So I don't know if they were giving advice to people about parenting, but both of the women behind that channel were both arrested for aggravated child abuse. And hours before, there was a call to a child trying to get out of a window. Um, okay, so let's see. I don't know what. So, gosh, this lady went from 2.5 million subscribers to, far less than that. And so these are the two women who are under arrest right now. This is the channel that they are referencing. Let me show you. These two women right here are both under arrest for aggravated child abuse, but they're this woman right here, Ruby Frankie, the one this one on the right, her channel was 2.5 million and under years and years of allegations of malnutrition, child abuse, and extreme harsh parenting from her community. And it appears that her children are now with Department of Social Services, and she was arrested. Okay. Um, and lots of talk about what's going on here. So, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. We'll talk about this another time. But yeah, this woman was just arrested. The truth about 8 passengers So this has been going on for a minute, and obviously the T channels are talking about it. Um, Anyway, hopefully these children are okay, and mom is sitting trying to figure out, I guess, what's going on. Guys, I'm gonna let you go. If you want to hear more about this, I guess let me know. And we will talk about it in the future, I guess, as more details come up. But for right now, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.